Hello guys and welcome to today's video. Today we've got a new watch from a company called Colmi. You must be very familiar with this company now because I've reviewed quite a few products from them, and this watch is called P12. So let's not waste our time and let's start unboxing. So the box actually arrived intact. It looks very good. You obviously received the watch itself. This time I went for unsafe option and I went for a strap that looks like that. I think it looks very funky, very unusual, and it's very nice indeed. You receive a paper manual like this, which is fully in English, no Chinese or no other languages, just English. And you also receive a 4-pin magnetic charger, meaning that we can actually transfer some data onto the watch itself. We'll come back to that later on. So a couple of numbers about this watch. First of all, the price. You should expect to pay about $29 US with the free shipping from AliExpress. I'll leave the link down below to the official seller where I purchased these watches myself. We've got a display which is 1.4 inches across with resolution of 240 by 240, and the matrix is a TFT matrix. The watch has a processor which is TL8258. The battery inside of the watch is 200 milliamp battery, which should last you 5 to 7 working days. However, if you're going to be listening to the music, which you can on this watch, the battery will only last about between 4 to 5 hours. And also if you're going to be making a continuous phone calls, the battery will also last for about 5 hours. So keep that in mind. The watch comes with pre-installed memory, which is 4 gigabytes of memory, which is plenty enough for quite a few tracks of your choice. The watch also comes with water and dust resistant rating, which is IP67, meaning you can wash your hands, you can take this watch into a shower. However, you should not submerge this watch into water because otherwise you'll just ruin it. And the app that you're going to be using to connect this watch to your phone is called that. So the straps, these are the quick release straps. They are 20 mil across. So if you don't want a strap like that, or you want something different of a different color, for instance, you can buy a straps on AliExpress easily. Like I said, 20 mil, that's all you're gonna have to be looking for. So this is actually a very familiar design, and we've came across with this design in a P8, which we had before. It's exactly the same body, it's exactly the same square 240 by 240 screen. It's got exactly the same button on the right side, but this is where similarities end, and this is where the difference begins, because on the right side of P12 you actually got a hole for the microphone, whereas there was no microphone on the P8. And also if you look at the top, just below where the strap sits, there's a cutout for your speaker, because this watch actually comes with a speaker as well. And at the back, although once again they do look pretty similar at the back, but obviously the P12's got an upgraded sensors, it's got a little hole for the secondary microphone, and we can see that there are four pin connection system on the P12, whereas there was a just 2-pin connection on the P8, because you could not upload any music on P8, and it's just outdated model now, so we'll just keep it to one side. So P12, first of all, what we'll do is we'll have a quick look at the functions of the watch. So usual thing, scrolling from top to bottom, we can see things like we're not connected to the Bluetooth because I've got my phone in the airplane mode at the minute, but otherwise this little icon right at the top would have showed you that the Bluetooth is connected. You've got the do not disturb mode, you've got your screen brightness here, currently set at maximum. This little icon here allows you to control how long your screen will stay on once you stop using the actual screen, once you stop like tapping it, and the maximum you can go for is 30 seconds, which I think is pretty decent. And you've got your quick Bluetooth on or Bluetooth off option there as well, so you can save your battery by turning the Bluetooth off, and the battery will last for a bit longer. By scrolling from left to right, you jump into your messages quickly and you can see how they look. The one thing I will say is there are quite a few social medias that can be displayed on this watch, and you can also read the text messages fully. So you can just scroll through the text and you can actually read them fully, but you can't reply to them, unfortunately. Then if you scroll from right to left, that takes you into your main menu. It's all very intuitive. So for instance, the top one looks like a music icon, and it is basically, that allows you to jump into your music. A little shoe there allows us to see how many steps we've done, how many calories we burned. The phone is a very straightforward thing. You can sync your contacts from your phone. You can also see what sort of numbers you dialed before, and you can dial your phone number if you can remember it just there. Then you've got your physical exercises. It takes you to this screen. All you have to do then is just tap the screen and choose from sport styles that sort of suits your needs. For instance, you got bike riding, running, walking, rope skipping, you got football, basketball, tennis, and you also got ping pong. You just choose whichever you're going to do. So for instance, I'm going to go for a run. Very straightforward. It starts to count my time, how many steps I'm going to do, how many miles I've covered, and you know what sort of calories I've burned. And the heart rate sensor also kicks in, and that's going to read our heart rate throughout the exercise. So we'll stop that for now. So then if we jump into the second screen, this is all about your health status. So for instance, you've got your heart rate reading, you've got your oxygen reading, blood pressure reading. You can also see how many hours you've slept last night, and how, you know, what was your deep sleep, you know, how long was your deep sleep and light sleep and things like that. Very good sensors on this watch. They're not the quickest to take the reading. However, the positives would be that they don't read the air, and they don't read any other surfaces unless you put it on your wrist. So for instance, if I was to put it on a table, the watch would not take a reading, and if I was to keep it in the air, the watch wouldn't take reading either. So it has to be on the skin, it has to be physically on the wrist to take a reading, and the reading is usually very accurate as well. Jumping onto the third screen, once again, this top option allows you to control how long your screen will stay on. You can set your alarms. Positives would be that you can actually set 3 alarms. You can choose when the alarm will be activated, on which day of the week and what time. So you don't have to go into the app to set your alarms all the time. You can do it straight from the watch. You also got timer, very straightforward, very simple. You just jump into the timer, you press play. It's going to start counting your time, and if you want to reset the timer, you just press that button, and you can't really do anything else. So it won't register your laps, it will just register your time. And also for those who've been emailing me and messaging saying, how do you change time, how do you change date on the watch? It's never been available on the watch before, but this time you've got this little icon here where you can see the calendar and the watch, and if you click on that, that allows you to choose what year you have right now, and also obviously the date and the current time. So this feature would be very useful for those who travel through several time zones in, let's say for instance, one day or a week. So you can actually change the time and date within the watch itself now. There are a few languages to choose from. You've got, I believe that's Chinese, sorry if it's not. English, you've got Spanish, you've got French and Portugal. Unfortunately, those are the only languages that are supported in the watch itself. The app will support a lot more languages than the watch, so we'll come back to that later on. On left and on the right, you've got your usual reminders. So for instance, if you've been sitting for too long, the watch will remind you to stand up and do a few steps, and you can actually set it in the watch itself. Same thing goes for if you haven't drunk enough water today, the watch will remind you to do so. And you can set your brightness, which is currently set at maximum. Then you can change your themes for your watch, and you can open up a QR code to download the app to use with this watch. You can use your watch as a remote to take selfies from your phone, and you've got your messages. You also got your do not disturb mode. You've got your information about the watch. This is where you can turn on and off your Bluetooth. So for instance, Bluetooth to connect to your phone, and also Bluetooth to use your watch as a device to talk to other people through. Then if you scroll from bottom to top, that takes you first of all into your music, then it takes you to your phone calls. You can actually record straight onto your watch. So for instance, if you want to record conversations, maybe like a dialogue, maybe you take an interview or whatever it could be, you can actually record it straight into your watch, and then later on the file can be viewed on your PC or your laptop. You've got your information about your steps and calories burned. You can see your sleep tracking, you can measure your heart rate, you can jump into your sports mode, and once again you can come back to your main screen. So what I'll do now is I'll take a little second to explain to you how the music actually works on this watch, because like I said, you can use this watch without a phone and still listen to the music. So the thing you have to do is jump into the music player. You've got those 3 lines there, so if you click on that, if you press TWS mode, that allows you to actually use your headphones with this watch and bypass the phone. In order to do that, you have to have a pair of wireless headphones that are not currently connected to any other devices. So for instance, the earphones that are not connected to your phone or your laptop or anything like this. So you have to have either a new pair of headphones, or you have to have headphones that you've disconnected from everything else. So what you're going to do is you're going to click TWS mode. It's going to jump into the play music, and all you have to do then is you're gonna open up your earbuds, you're gonna pull them out, and they automatically gonna connect to this device. So they're gonna bypass your phone, they're gonna bypass any other devices, they're just gonna automatically connect to these watches. And from now on, they're gonna remember this connection, and each and every single time you're gonna take this watch for a run, and those earbuds or those headphones, they will work together. So that's how it's done. Then if you once again click those three lines there, you can choose to listen to the music from your SD card. So for instance, if I press that, once again, the headphones would have been connected by then. Then I can just click play, and they're going to be played through the earbuds without a phone. And then if I wanted to, I can choose BT mode, which would allow me to use this watch as a little remote control to control the music that's going to be played on my phone through the earbuds that will be connected to my phone. However, the watch can be used as a remote control to skip through the track. So each and every single time I wouldn't have to pull out my phone and change the track. I wouldn't have to use my earbuds. I can just quickly go and tap my screen and change the track that way. So that's the way you control the music. And what I'll do now is I'll demonstrate you how the speaker sounds through the watch itself. So it's currently set at maximum volume, and the thing that I like the most is that you can start playing track, and you can actually go out from the player and you can switch your watches off, but they're still gonna keep on playing music. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to stop demonstration right there because of the copyright situation and all those things. The speaker gets loud enough to have a decent conversation with someone, and you can actually hear them quite clearly, and you can also listen to the music on the go if you wanted to, so that's pretty positive. So what I'll do now is I'll demonstrate you how the microphones sound on these watches. Then we're gonna jump in. I'm gonna show you the software that you're gonna be using to connect this watch to your phone. Then we're gonna come back later on, and I'm gonna summarize today's video for you guys. Alright, so the watch is on my wrist, about 25 to 30 centimeters away from my face. I'm in a quiet room, and I'm talking normally like I would if I was to phone someone up. And personally, I've actually heard the recordings of my voice through this watch, and I thought they were really decent for the price. But it's, as usual, it's basically up to you to decide whether the quality is good enough or not. Personally, I think it's good. So yeah, let's go back to our review. Right, so let's have a look at the app itself. On the first page, as you can see, there's information about how many calories you burned, how many steps you've done, what was your last night's sleep, and all that good information. And then on the second page, you can see that the watch is connected, that there is a 30% remaining battery, and you've got things like you can find your device, you've got your shutter, so you can use your watch as a remote if you want to take a picture of yourself. And you also got notifications, so we'll jump into that. This is where you can see incoming calls, and you've got your social medias, and if that's not enough for you in that list, then you can always click that very bottom thing where it's got Chinese symbol and says app, and more notifications will come through all other apps on your phone. And then next you've got your alarm clocks, so you can set your alarm clocks on this app or in the watch itself. You've got your sleep monitoring, so you can turn it on and off if you want to. Obviously, when you turn it off, you'll save the battery. And if you turn it on, you'll see your sleep readings. Then you got your do not disturb mode. Then you got your lift wrist to brighten your screen. That's basically when your screen is going to come on, when you're going to raise your wrist to see what time it is. And basically you can choose between which times this option is going to be on and off. You also got your dial selection, so the first dial with the hot air balloon, that's the customizable watch face. Basically you just jump in, you can upload any picture of your choice and you can manipulate it the way you prefer. And then if you look down, it says more dial here, so if you just click on that, this is where you can find all extra watch faces that you can upload onto your watch. And finally, you've got your contacts. This is where you can sync contacts from your phone onto your watch, and you can easily dial phone numbers from your phone book. And also you've got an upgrade, which basically like a software update. So I would advise you to click on that once you've installed the app, because that will allow for several updates to come through. And that's about it. Let's go back to our review. So now that we've sort of seen everything about this watch and we've listened a few examples and few things about this watch, what I'll say is I think it's a very important watch. It's a budget watch that actually allows you to do so much more than the previous budget watches did allow you to do, because it's got a very good and very large 4GB internal memory, allowing you to actually introduce music to this watch. You can take it out and not use your phone. So for instance, for those who love to go for a run but don't want to take their phone with them, this watch would be ideal. It still packs a pretty good battery. And if you're not using your obviously MP3 playing facilities, the watch will last for a good 5 to 7 working days, which is pretty good. The heart rate sensor is very good as well, because the readings are fairly accurate, and like I said, they don't take readings from let's say a table, or for instance if it was left like that. So those are the real sensors, they're not gimmick. And all in all, I think it's a very good package. The only downside to this watch, and I think they had to take those cuts, would be the resolution 240 by 240. I think it's a bit on the lower side for 2021, could have been a lot better. And the processor in this watch is a little, it takes a bit of a time. So for instance, as you can see, if I press a button, it takes a bit of a time for watch to wake up, whereas it wasn't the same case for P8, for instance. In P8, the screen would come on immediately, and the scrolling sensation when you scroll through the menu on P8 was a lot faster than it is on the P12. But like I said, you have to take cuts somewhere, so the processor and the resolution were the way to go. So guys, I hope this video has been helpful in some way to you, especially if you were looking to purchase this particular model from Colmi. Like I said, I will leave a link down below just so you can be 100% sure that you're buying from a regional, authentic shop, and you're not going to be let down. If I've missed any information, don't hesitate, comment down below and I'll do my best to answer your questions as soon as I can. And thank you very much for watching, thank you very much for subscribing and supporting this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.